I try always to contact the most highly qualified experts on the subject, so let's talk to some experts on comic books. You want to give me your name, son?
David Freeman.
And how old are you?
11.
Tell me how comic books make you feel, Dave.
Well, they don't make me feel too good. A couple of times I read a comic book, I threw up.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Sorry that I was gone for so long. I was super sick, and then I got kind of depressed because I wasn't able to draw or fucking do anything. I was stuck in a bed. Excuse me. But we had left off on a New Year's note. You know, we were leaving off right when it was about to be the New Year and Christmas and everything, and I was trying to wrap my head around putting down the pencil and pen for a while and just kind of relaxing for a couple weeks. So anyway, I don't mean to be long-winded, but everyone, just thanks for those people who hung in there with me. I know I lost like 3 or 4 subscribers in that time, and whatever, like, fuck them. Like, if you're gonna leave me because, like, I'm just not posting content for like a month or two, like, whatever. I didn't need you anyway. But for all the people that hung in there, thank you so much. In the background here, I have X-Men Sega OST playing. One of my favorite games that I grew up with. I beat it many a times. But the subject today is New Year, New Me. And, you know, as we always do, we draw and talk about life and life lessons and, you know, just kind of hang out. I mean, I'm probably going to try and get away from life lessons all the time and just talk about, like, art or comics or hanging out with friends, you know, something more positive. Man, excuse me. But yeah, New Year, New Me, man. Like, I hear it all the time. And I remember being one of those people that, you know, would be like, well, all those things I promised myself this year, I didn't do them. And, I need to do them this year because it's gonna be a new year, and oh my god, I need to do them. And you know what? It never worked out. Not once. Not one time did I follow a New Year's resolution. And I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm not saying people don't do it. I'm just saying it never worked for me. I'm using I statements as usual, not you statements, because if I'm telling you what to do, I usually get bad comments. So I'm not going to tell you what to do. But in my experience, you know, I have always said, you know, when I quit drinking when I was like around 30 and quit smoking, and I kind of like figured out what I wanted to do with my life, with my art and my comics and everything, and, you know, yada yada. One of the things I also did was I looked at my body, and like literally, you know, growing up I was like skinny as a rail, and I was super fit. I mean, I could like skateboard for 8 hours a day and just still like not be tired. I mean, you're a kid, you got all the energy in the world. Nothing hurts yet. And you know, as I got older and I was drinking all through my 20s, my body slowly changed. It actually held together for a long time. I was surprised. I still had like a little bit of muscle tone, even though I never worked out. I still had a 6-pack. And I want to say around like 26, man, I really started putting on weight. And then 28, more weight. And then by 30, I was just like, God, man, I didn't even have like a chin. It was just one neck. And I remember my roommate looking down at me, and she's like looking at my body, because I was out on my patio writing, and I was drinking and smoking and looking around, trying to figure out my life. I was like, man, I wasted all my 20s drinking, and I had a great time, and I met a lot of nice women and blah blah blah, all the things you think are important when you're younger. And I looked down at my body, and where my pecs used to be, these just regular old pecs, these man titties, were now there, and they were drooping. And I was like, oh my God, like, it was a shock to me. Like, I live in this body every day, this fucking prison that I'd built myself into, this drinking cesspool, this nicotine pit of hell. And I thought I'd, how do I put this? I thought it was going to hold together forever. And, it was, you just never think you're going to get old when you're young. Like, you're getting old, but you never think what that means, really, until it happens. And I remember looking down, just like, it was a shock to me. I was like, oh my God, this whole time I let myself go. Like, and I looked in the mirror, and I'm like, I'm so, like, overweight and bloated, and just, I look unhealthy, and I feel unhealthy, and it's starting to, like, get to me now that I'm getting to be 30. And so, like, New Year's was coming up. It was weeks away. Christmas, New Year's, everything. It was December. This was like 6 years ago. And it just was like, I'm gonna make New Year's resolutions. I'm gonna go to the gym and get my shit together. I'm gonna buy that bottle of whiskey I always wanted and just drink it and enjoy it and all the things. And then New Year's rolls around, and it's like, no, you know what? I'm gonna quit like May. I'm gonna wait till summer. I'm gonna get a summer body. And like, yeah, technically I would go to the gym, and like every couple days when I wasn't hungover and aching. And it never came. It just never came, because the truth is that, like, I was making promises based on something that was just a part of the year. Like, it's becoming a new year. What does that mean? It means fucking nothing. It's literally just another day. It's another day to get drunk, even. Like, it's even an excuse to get drunk, and act a fool. And, the cycle continued until a year later, and it's like, oh man, I wasted that whole year. It went by so fast. I didn't do anything. I lost like maybe 15 pounds, and I was still smoking, still drinking. And there was a recoiling, fear to step outside of something I'd known for so long, so many years. It's like, get writing done, get drunk while I'm writing, go buy that pack of smokes. Then halfway through the night, I'd run out of like vodka. I'd maybe run out of cigarettes. Walk to the store through this field. There's this field by my old apartments that I'd be blasting some MC Chris, like Fats Vet, or whatever, some Pixies. And I'd be walking through the field to the liquor store, and they all knew me. I didn't even have to drive up through the drive-thru. I just walk up there and be like, what do you want? Same as usual? All right, here. Like, they almost just had it for me, a poison dealer. Like, he's back. And, again, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with drinking. It's just so he's good in moderation. It's not something you can control. It's a very addictive substance. It's a depressant. And, so then I'd go back home, and I'd continue drinking and just be fucking gone, you know, messaging people on Facebook, messaging girls, my friends, you know, talking shit, saying stupid shit. And like I look back at some of the things, some of the ways I acted, and I'm like, man, I was just a lunatic. But then I'd get back into the routine of, well, I'll just make my New Year's resolution when New Year's comes around, you know, or I'll make resolutions later. And I always kind of felt like the truth is, when I finally started like buckling down, I'm like, you know what, I'm done smoking. I smoked my last cigarette, I put it down, I never went back. But it wasn't a New Year's resolution that got me to do that, you know. It was this a little bit of a concern, a little bit of a drive, and a little bit of rude awakening. The rude awakening was that now I'm old. I'm 30 something. I haven't done anything with my life. I've written all these books and self-published them, and I'm still essentially a loser in my own eye, you know. And I'm not like, I wasn't comparing myself. I wasn't saying, oh, I need to sell 1 million books, you know, I need to do this, I need to do that. No, it was just like a simple, like, in myself, my own, who I believe to be the inner me is, wasn't reflected on the outer me, in who I was acting like, and who I was appearing to be, and how I was going about everyday life with respect to people and respect to myself, you know. And I felt it within me that I needed to make a change. And it wasn't something like a New Year's resolution, like a day, you know, a saying. I hate sayings, you know, like it is what it is. One is worth two in the bush, or whatever the fuck that saying goes. Like, I hate all of them. Because they essentially, sayings came from somebody that built that saying off their own life experience, right? The New Year's resolution, new year, new me. Somebody had a new year, new me, and they created a new them on that new year. And that saying circled around and everyone picked it up, and they're like, oh, well, new year, new me. Just like that guy. But nothing derived out of their own being themselves to satiate the drive, the want, the need, the frustration, the suffering to change who they were. I mean, I'm not saying it's not possible. Like, somebody did somewhere have a new year, new me. It is a possibility. But what came out of them wasn't because of that saying. It came out of them because they wanted that change. You know, the sayings are built on yourself. Your own personal saying, your own mantra should be what pulls out what you need in life. At least in my case, my mantra. We're using I statements, not you statements. Remember that. Well, why you telling me all this stuff, then? I'll tell you why. Just give me a second. God. Quit pushing me, man. Why do I have a cough all of a sudden right when I record? But a saying I used to have, a phrase, when I was younger, in my 20s, when I would do crazy things and act crazy and get as drunk as I possibly fucking could, drink a whole bottle of whiskey, smoke all the cigarettes, give me pills, give me whatever. You know, my saying was always, fuck it. Let's do it. You know? Fuck it. Love this song. But when I turned older, when I got in my 30s, turned 30, got in my 30s, that same saying helped me in the opposite direction of fuck it, you know? What do I gotta lose by being healthy? Fuck it, what do I gotta lose by quitting alcohol? It's not doing anything for me. You know, fuck it. Let's do this. And I did it. But it came out of me because it's something that inside of me wanted to come out. And not a phrase or a saying like new year, new me made it come out. It was the actual want within me that made me want to collapse and bring that change into my life. So when I hear people say new year, new me, it's bullshit. And everyone I talk to every single year will tell me the same thing. Man, I haven't been following any of my New Year's resolutions. And I'm not attacking somebody, an artist friend, who's going to be on the next episode, by the way, told me this yesterday. And I just want to point out, because if he listens to this episode, it wasn't him that I'm like, that made me want to record this episode. I was going to record this episode weeks ago. But it's the change within, I believe, that really makes people change. Not phrases, not the time of year, not whatever the fuck. Like, new year, new me isn't going to do it. So if you want to make a change in your life, and you want to get better at something, or you want to get more fit, you want to eat healthier, you want to quit drinking, you want to do whatever the hell you want to do, don't look to phrases or sayings or fallacies or things that just don't come from within you. Change comes from within. And if you're going to go and change, look within yourself. At least that's what I did. And it happened. And it works. And I look within myself every single day to continue to make those changes. And that's really all I'm here to say today, is that it took me a long time. I wish I'd done it sooner, and I wish I hadn't wasted time. But everyone's different, and everyone's time comes when they finally want that change. There's no rush, really. Your life, it's going to be what it is, whether you want it or not. And I'm not saying it is what it is. I'm saying it's going to be what you want, what you determine. And it's going to be up to you to make those changes. So I'm done preaching today. This is just something that I've always realized about myself year in, year out, and it's changed dramatically. And, you know, take of it what you will. But my next episode, I'm going to have a tattoo artist on, one of my besties, you know, really good friend, and we're going to color this art here today, the fly, which I specifically chose to draw for the new year, new me. Kind of a tongue-in-cheek joke, you know, to point out that sometimes we can change into good things and sometimes we're just the monster. But I want to thank everyone for listening. Obviously, I'm going to continue doing this when I can. Please don't leave me. Please like, share, subscribe. You know, I would like to reach 1,000 subscribers some fucking day. And, you know, I'm working on my comic books, so I don't have all the time in the world to do this, but I try to make time. And I try to make time for you. So, thanks, everyone. And I hope you have a good day. And, you know, think about what I said. Peace.